welcome to Two Guys Garage. Now raise your hand if you want to own a V6, get the great gas mileage, but smoke all your friends in a V8, right?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, V6s aren't necessarily the coolest thing in the world until you look at the modern V6 and what it brings, 28, 30 miles per gallon. But we got some mods that are going to make this thing smoke the guy with the V8.
All right, Kev. All right, listen to this. I'm gonna give you some numbers.
Okay.
310 horsepower.
It's a reasonable number.
That was the V8 on the last gen Camaro, 310.
Yeah, remember how awesome we thought that was?
Yeah, this guy sits at 323. So think about that. This V6 is already stacked bigger than what the old V8 was in the Camaros.
Yeah, so when you think about V8s and V6s and which one's cool, I mean, just go back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna walk you through a little bit of why this thing makes such a big, powerful punch like that.
Yeah.
So what's nice about these newer high-tech engines, pull this guy off, is they're not some iron lump with 6 holes in it, just sitting there weighting the front of the car down, kind of wheezing and gassing. These things are full-on, high-tech, all aluminum, dual overhead cam, direct injection. You even got variable cam timing.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, you can see your solenoids down here. That's controlling the oil flow, which is controlling where the cams are relative to the crank. So you got, you got fuel economy, you got emissions, but then you got full-on power when you want it.
And it's easy to upgrade what's already here and make it even stronger.
Yeah, this thing is ready to breathe. It wants to go. It's got 4 valves in there. It's got some high RPM capability. So we've just got to get the air in it and a few other sneaky tricks. So we'll start with the cold air. We can get the fresh air in. We're gonna work our way to the back, but somewhere here in the middle, we're gonna use that cheater fluid called Nitrous. So we're gonna walk you through a little bit of that. We're gonna clean up some of this area so we can start the process. And we'll give you a little bit more background on how to set up a nitrous system and how to run it safely. All right, so you got the mass sensor swapping over for me? All right, well, first things first, wheel over here. We're gonna do our intake side, or cold side. Now, you can add a filter and a tube and kind of shield it off, or like cold air inductions, these guys, they're taking it to the next level. They're really paying attention to some of those details. So the first thing, instead of just kind of blocking off away from the engine, there's a lot of heat in there, they're sealing the box off, so you're only getting the cold air in, and then they're shielding it. You can see the heat shielding that they're adding on, a nice high quality, nice and thick system. So now my filter's in here pulling only the cold air. Well, let's move on a little bit. We got our induction tubes, so you can get everything in this near chrome look, or you can get this textured black. Yep. But they've got a heat barrier coating on the inside of a pretty solid looking piece as well. So they're really paying attention to some of those details.
Dude, they really took into consideration all that heat soaking issue that you get with a lot of these kits and cases.
Oh yeah, and I like little things that they've done. Little quarter turns,
wow,
with captured fasteners that aren't going to fall out. So this is a nice cover, and you can see this is clear, so you can see the condition of your filter if you need to change it. You can also see it because it looks cool, and you're not losing the little screws. So a lot of neat little things that they paid attention to, and it's real simple to put in. So let's get this thing started, and we can move on to that nitrous.
It's all in the quest for speed, my friend. All in the quest for mile per hour horsepower.
Just got to put the lid on, seal the air filter in with our little quarter turns, and that is a pretty simple and sweet looking system. Now, again, we're just mocking it up, but hey, Willie, I got a question, man.
Yeah.
I got these extra brackets here, and I don't know where they go.
I'll tell you where they go. Right around that bad boy right there.
Nice. Now this is that magic laughing gas, which is going to make us giggle pretty hard once we got it installed.
Yeah.
But
the giggles come from the driver's seat after it's installed.
That's right. But we're going to take a break, so stick around.
Now, you know, over time, your power steering components, like all of us, just break down. It happens. Be it metal, rust, oxidation, Teflon, whatever. Those particulates get swirling around and can actually clog up your pumps, your boxes, and so forth. So how do you keep that from happening? Well, a couple ways you can actually prevent power steering failure, and that's visibly check your fluid. If it's transparent, you're good to go. If it's dirty, if it looks like used motor oil, you should probably call your dad, tell him you're sorry, and flush your system out. Another thing you can do is put in these MagnaPure inline filters. Now, these things are great because they're actually serviceable. All right, so you pop this little top off right here, and there you have it. The screen comes in aluminum or plastic. You can actually take this out, wash it, clean it out, and put it back together, put it back in line so it keeps all those contaminants and those particulates from clogging your power steering pump. Now, these MagnaPure inline power steering filters by Cardone are available at Federated Auto Parts. All right, welcome back. And as you can tell, we've got the fun stuff laid out on the trays. Our Nitrous kit from Zex. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, now why would you run Nitrous?
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. But the biggest reason is there's probably no easier way and there's no better bang for buck to get more power than the little cheater bottle.
Yeah, man, and back in the, a couple years ago, Nitrous was kind of scary. A lot of people, sort of approached it with a little hesitation. Well, now, man, with the systems they have, it becomes a lot easier to control it. It's not near as volatile as it used to be. So let's get into the system and show you what we got.
Yeah, now what exactly is nitrous oxide? When you talk about volatility, well, nitrous oxide is 2 parts nitrogen and 1 part oxygen. Well, nitrogen's an inert gas. It doesn't do anything, it doesn't burn. And oxygen's already in the air, so there's really nothing volatile in this bottle.
You're missing a good point, though. It's super cold. It's freezing. If you crack that off, it would just frost up, right? So that means that oxygen is super dense. That allows you to throw a ton of fuel at it.
But see, that's the point. You're not taking any fuel out of here. Right. You're only providing the oxygen, the fuel you're adding from your tank from somewhere else, right?
Yes.
So that's the key. This is just bringing you cold, dense air,
right?
And you're adding the fuel, which means you can have that much power.
More power. So we mount this in the trunk. We're gonna run the nitrous up this line, okay, from the trunk into the line, into our nitrous control unit, and into this nozzle, which is, remember, our boy Kev put that cold air intake system on this side. This side is going to go to the throttle body. This little guy is going to go right in here to inject our nitrous in here. Now let me show you something cool about this nitrous nozzle. You have 2 pills, or jets if you will. Now if you look really tight, they're just small orifices in here, okay? Now those are going to drop down in here and give you certain combos, whether you want 55 horsepower, 75 horsepower, 100 horsepower. You change it just by changing up these small little jets.
Now that's going to feed, like you said, in the inlet tube, which is right in front of that throttle. So when that throttle's open and when you go full throttle, the system kicks on, man, it is spraying that cold, dense air and, like you said, the fuel right into the engine. Now we've got to control that.
Yeah.
So before it gets to that valve, we're going to run, nitrous in and fuel in, and on the other side is our fuel out, nitrous out, and that's going to be the on-off switch.
Yeah.
It's going to be connected to our throttle pedal, and we'll have a go button. So when we're ready and we nail that throttle, this is going to control the flow through these nozzles and those orifices to make sure we got the right mixture, the right amount when we want it.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's start getting this thing mounted. There's a lot more cool little details and tricks we can show you as we're going along.
That's fuel. That's a factory fuel line back there. Now, how do we get that factory fuel into our nitrous management system? Well, I'm gonna replace that line with the line that's included in that Zex kit. Now I'll put this little guy right in here, get the line right braided in just like that, and get fuel up to the nitrous management system. Now I'll go over in the back, start working on that tank so we can get that set up as well. How you doing here, man?
Awesome, getting everything routed. So like Willie said, we've got our additional fuel coming in here. And this was that line that's going to feed back to the back as he's working on that tank, so we'll route that down. We had to find a nice cool place for that controller that we showed you that controls the in and the out. Well, no better place than our cold air inductions kit, so we've got it buried right below the filter here, so that's a nice cool spot. Now the lines are routed up here towards the throttle, and I've got to mount that nozzle. So again, we've got the fuel and the nitrous coming in, and I got to find a nice spot for it. Now, in this kit, this is a nice solid billet tube with some high quality welds. If I could move it down here, all I could do is just drill and tap it. I could thread it right in. But we really want to get it a little bit closer. About 2 inches from the throttle is sort of a optimum location. So, you know, I can mount it up and I might hit the hoses under the hood, maybe under the bottom and be totally stealthy, or maybe off to the side here where you can kind of get a little glimpse of what's going on under there. So let me find a good spot. I can get a hole punched through here. I've got a bulkhead fitting. I can start getting this plumbed up, and before you know it, it'll be ready to hit that button and hammer that throttle.
All right, a couple tricks when you're mounting your bottle. You always want to index your bottle, the pickup tube in it, with the actual bottle position. Now on these X tubes, the pickup tube, all right, is at the bottom of the bottle and it faces the outward position. So it's right down here. So I'm gonna lean this bottle in here like this, and you always, again, wanna mount your bottle so when you're accelerating, the liquid comes back and you get every little bit of that goofy juice you possibly can.
How do you get rid of those pesky bugs that leave acid residue that eats through your vehicle's paint? Get rid of them in under 60 seconds with Bugs Be Gone from Seafoam Sales. This multi-purpose cleaner works on just about anything. Bugs Be Gone works inside your windshield to remove that annoying haze left behind by other products. You can even use it to clean mold, mildew, algae, carpets, and upholstery. But as the name implies, it's great for getting rid of those pesky bugs that stick to your bumper, hood, grill, glass, and other parts and pieces of your vehicle. Just spray it on a cool, dry surface, and in less than 60 seconds, those bugs will come right off. To get rid of even more bugs, use a car wash mitt. Bugs Be Gone is biodegradable, water activated, and works on any surface possible. Bugs Be Gone really works anywhere. Even use it on your wheels to get rid of that brake dust. This tip is brought to you by Seafoam, the choice of mechanics for over 70 years. For more information about anything you've seen in today's show, check out gactv.com or visit TwoGuysGarage.com.
All right, we're back with our V6 Dragon Slayer. The only thing on our Nitrous system that you can really tell when you pop the hood is this tiny Zex nozzle right here. Kind of cool, stealth style.
Yeah, if you're looking for it, you'll see it, but otherwise, you know, it just kind of blends in.
Yeah.
Now we got one other little clue.
Yeah.
This is the Nitrous purge. This is the outlet tube here. The solenoid's tucked right up in the grill area. When you go purge, this thing's gonna pull a little fog out. And Willie's trick here is crimp the ends. It'll give you a two-shot, which, you know, if you think about a raging bull on a cold day, getting you that, you know,
It's kind of cool.
around.
And a couple other things to remember. Whenever you add power, especially something like Nitrous, there's a few steps you want to take to make sure on the preventive maintenance side you don't harm your motor. For example, always avoid detonation. So for every 50 horsepower, I like to pull out 2 degrees of timing. All right? And make sure your spark plugs are within the heat range of the Nitrous system you're using.
Right. More power, colder plugs, and make sure you got a good design with the proper strap to wick that heat away.
Yeah. And one other thing, when you turn your car off, bleed off the pressure on the Nitrous system. All right?
Yeah. And otherwise, go have fun.
Yeah.
Now we've got this front end. We're pushing a lot more power towards the back. So you know what? We probably ought to start working on some of the things on the back.
Yep. Breathing. Let's go get after it. A new exhaust system. All right, so we got that behemoth old exhaust, shelved it. We called our friends at Solar Performance, had them send us a mock X kit for this V6 Camaro.
Yeah,
now,
well, that stock one, just too quiet.
Yeah, way too quiet.
Way too family friendly. It's not that we want to get obnoxious, but we do want to have some fun. We want to hear some of that power coming
Yeah,
through.
man. And a lot of you have heard the power, the benefit you get from an X pipe. Well, Solar Performance has taken that X pipe, right, wrapped it in T304 stainless steel, so you get benefits of a muffler, but you get that performance of an X pipe, and then that real heavy, sort of throaty sound.
Yeah, so we've got the exhaust flying through this section here. Then we've got our sort of tailpipe sections, our left and our right. And what you'll notice is, you know, besides the really nice ends there with the double wall, it looks slick, we've got these little S's coming out, really going to nowhere.
Right, now why would you do that? Because actually a frequency will come up in his path, right? And it will actually butt up against this wall, rebound, and travel upstream and cancel out frequencies, right?
Yeah, the ones that you don't want. So you've been in a hot rod before. They sound great, you're hammering on the throttle, everything's cool, but you get to that one cruising speed, and all of a sudden you get sort of a booming, it's resonating in the cabin, it's driving you nuts, and you got a long trip ahead of you. Well, that is what's canceling out the frequencies you don't want. And what's cool is if you find yourself and you get one of those frequencies, you can change the length by slip fitting slightly, and you'll change which frequency you're canceling out. So your system is going to automatically eliminate the bads,
drone type
keep the
noise,
goods,
right? Yeah.
and give you a little bit of adjustability.
There you go, man. Well, let's get this thing on our new Camaro.
Let's do it. All right, I'm just going to do a little snug just to hold it in place, but not necessarily bind us up as we kind of work our way down. Let me get my sleeves started here. There you go. Our solo performance, Mach X exhaust system on. We are pumping out some serious horsepower from front to back.
Yeah, just driving around, you got 25 or 30 with the cold air intake and the exhaust, another 100 to push a button. This 6-cylinder Camaro is one nasty car.
Yeah, $125 for a couple hours worth of work, not a bad deal. Now, we got 2 out of 3. I see a little bit of blood from Willie.
Yeah.
I can definitely smell the sweat, so please don't cry on me, man. We don't need any tears on this job. So, hey, if you want to go out there and really get the fuel economy and still have some performance, here's one way to go do it. But you know what? It's time to get this thing on the ground. You guys stick around. We'll be right back.
I'll show you some tears from my driving.
Ethanol used in today's fuels can be harmful to your engine. It can clog up fuel lines and cause corrosion and deposits in your car's injection system. Protect your engine from these harmful deposits with Rizlone's gasoline fuel treatment. Add 1 bottle to your fuel tank at your next fill-up or when your tank is nearly full. It will reduce water in the fuel and stabilize it to clean injectors and also act as an octane booster. Use with all unleaded E85 and ethanol-containing gasolines. Each bottle includes a fuel delivery spout, which will make it easier to pour into your fuel tank, including those that use capless or no fuel cap systems. You can use 1 bottle of gasoline fuel treatment every 5,000 miles. This tip is brought to you by Rizlone, affordable solutions to expensive automotive repairs.
Hey, welcome back. We're in the parts counter checking out some of the latest awesome product. This is one of our favorites from Workshop Hero. It's the Metal Rescue Rust Remover Bath.
It works on everything too, from gauges to wrenches, tools, parts around your shop, anything you can imagine. It's safe on everything but rust.
And all you have to do is literally just soak the parts. It eats away just the iron oxide or the rust. And in the end, you end up with a cool tool, you know, just fresh right off the shelf when you bought it, or whether it's your part or any of your projects or whatever.
Yeah, it's great stuff from Workshop Hero. Hey, everybody has one of these in their trucks, or at least should have one of these in their trucks.
Yeah.
The problem with these is getting that one key convenience, all right? Not having a bunch of keys dangling, losing this guy.
Yeah, who wants to be locked out of your work tools and all your cool stuff that's in there? So this is from Bolt. It's a toolbox latch retrofit kit. So everything you need is right in here. Inserts just like that. And
it's got mechanical tumblers in there, right? And they're gonna memorize these cuts. So the second you put your key in there, you turn it once, and now it memorizes the actual key. You can use your ignition key for your toolbox.
Super cool. It's from Bolt. It's the latch replacement retrofit kit. Get one for your truck.
All right, a little bottle that packs a serious punch. It's STP's Super Concentrated Fuel Injector Cleaner.
Yeah, it's got up to 10 times the amount of cleaning agents as the leading competitors. Now, that's going to restore lost power and acceleration.
Yeah, man. Those concentrated detergents going to go in there and snatch up all that carbon, gum, varnish, all that stuff on the valves and the fuel injectors.
Yeah, and once you clean those fuel injectors, you could pick up fuel economy, improve your emissions.
Yeah.
So you want to drop it in about every 4,000 miles, or give or take an oil change.
Yeah.
And you can treat up to about 21 gallons out of this little bottle.
Nice stuff, man. The STP Super Concentrated Fuel Injector Cleaner. Grab some gears, man, grab some gears. All right, from ARP, they're bell housing and transmission fastener kits, and these things are bulletproof when you're really grabbing gears like my boy Kev here.
That's right. Now, ARP fasteners look awesome, but that's not their only duty.
No.
They're the strongest thing you can get, 170,000 PSI minimum.
Ooh, you're not gonna break that.
Yeah, and then you can even get the stainless ones, which look really awesome.
Yeah.
So you got your bolts for the bell housing, you got your studs for the transmission. See the rounded ends on them?
Yeah.
Lets it slide right in,
guide you in.
right in.
Yeah.
And then you can dress out everything. So check them out, ARP, they got a fastener for anything you've got.
You can imagine. And speaking of fastening, you need to fasten yourself into the passenger seat so I can take you for a ride in that little hopped up V6 Camaro.
Yeah, I don't know about that passenger seat thing. So we'll figure that part out, but one thing I do know for sure, we're gonna try to roast those tires.
Yeah, man, a little nitrous, a little exhaust, a little cold air intake. Let's go do this.
All right, see you guys next time.